the controversy that's erupted over the BJP's claim that it has swept multiple rounds of rural elections in Uttar Pradesh. Results that it says is proof that there's no backlash against the Yogi Adityanath government. The Prime Minister himself tweeting praise, saying that the results show that the benefits that the people have got from the government's policies have been reflected in the party's massive victory. While the opposition, Samajwadi Party, the BSP, says that the BJP won through violence and intimidation, thrashing its supporters and candidates. The reality is more complex, as we found. But first to Ryder. Given that in local body elections, most parties choose not to field candidates on party symbols, who wins and who loses is often unclear, based on estimates by the parties themselves. With this rider in mind, if one considers the chronology of the local body polls in UP, the BJP's sweep at first glance does seem surprising. At first glance though, mind you. In the Panchayat elections in May this year, amid a raging pandemic in which people voted directly for about 3,000 seats, the BJP reportedly did worse than the SP, winning about 900 seats, while the SP won 1,000. But in elections held in July, to about 75 district chairpersons and 825 block presidents, the last just held this weekend, in which voting is indirect, the BJP claimed it swept the polls. In both these indirect elections, a large percentage of candidates, mostly of the BJP, won uncontested, giving further boost to the allegations of vote tampering. But a deeper dive into the numbers shows how the claims by both sides don't quite add up. In the Block Pramukh polls, look at this, the BJP won 649 out of 825 seats in July this year. But in February 2016, in the same elections, the Samajwadi Party, which was the ruling party in the state, won 623 out of 816 seats. It swept. Just as the BJP won almost 40% of the seats unopposed this time, 334, in Feb 2016, 385 or 47% of the seats were won unopposed, most likely by the Samajwadi Party, though there was no party-wise breakup of unopposed seats. Similarly, in the Zilla Panchayat chairpersons polls, which again the BJP swept July in this month, they won 66 out of the 75 seats. Similarly, in January 2016, the SP, the ruling party, had won 60 out of 74 seats, also swept. The BJP won 21 or nearly 30% of the seats unopposed, hence the charges of rigging. But in January 2016, again, the SP won 36 or 49% of the seats unopposed, so even more seats unopposed. In July 2021, the SP had only won 5 seats, that's in this election. In January 2016, the BJP and BSP had just won 4 seats. Now, this suggests that the pattern in Uttar Pradesh of the ruling party doing poorly in direct polls while sweeping the indirect polls with a large percentage of unopposed contests is not unique to this year's elections. Equally, this doesn't take away from the accusations against the BJP and the UP administration that they may have tilted the results in the BJP's favor through violence and intimidation, several instances of which were caught on camera.
In UP's Lakhimpur, Anita Yadav, the proposer for the Samajwadi candidate, was assaulted. Her sari yanked, reportedly by BJP supporters. The SP candidate, Ritu Singh, was inside the centre when she also was molested. Her sari yanked and her blouse torn. In the end, the SP candidate could not file her nomination and BJP won the seat. In Etawah, a local police official is heard saying on the phone, "BJP workers slapped me and brought bombs." This after violence outside the voting centre because the SP supposedly brought more voters than the BJP. BJP workers broke police barricading outside the voting centre.
जो भीड़ थी उनके द्वारा फायरिंग भी की गई, पत्थरबाजी भी की गई है। देखिए अभी तक जो है मौके पे 7 खोखे मिले हैं।
In Unnao, a local journalist, Krishna Raj, was thrashed by the chief development officer. Krishna Raj says he was taking videos of voters being abducted from outside the voting centre. In Bahraich, Monas gathered outside the house of Mayaram, who was killed while defending his sister-in-law Yadurai Devi. Yadurai Devi, a panchayat member, was reportedly being abducted to get her vote for the BJP. The main accused is the husband of the local BJP-backed candidate. In Sitapur, BJP and SP workers clashed during the nomination with guns, bombs and stone pelting. SP alleged that BJP workers had kidnapped an independent candidate.